mean, I've had plantar fasciitis before in my right
Yeah.
foot. That's what stopped me from running years ago.
Yeah.
But this one was different. But it was one of those things where it wasn't debilitating and I was able to work through it. I found myself like the ache was getting to something where I really couldn't run it off in a couple minutes. It was affecting every day, getting out of bed every morning.
Mm.
So I went to the old school PT
Yes.
and I said, keep the wheels on the bus. So I got through the race, which is a good thing. Wheels stayed on the bus. But then I found it took 2 weeks off. Wasn't getting better. Worked
Mm.
out a little bit, took another 2 weeks off. It wasn't getting any better. It actually was getting worse. The less I was doing things, I was like, okay, I have a real problem. What I really liked when we first got here and we had our sit down was you really looked at the body as a whole, but more importantly, isolated that the problem I was having in my foot was being structurally driven by other things. Now, other PTs will talk about that, but I really liked how specific your tech kind of showed it. You remember, like my glutes were shut out of the equation, which was
Right.
affecting my back and my leg and all my calves, of course, which of
Yes.
course all leads down. And it's the first time, other than sitting down with somebody and saying, we want you to do these types of exercises, and I'm going to do this type of therapy, that it clicked, that I was
Mm.
able to see, okay, there's a bigger issue at play here. So
Yeah.
right out of the gate, I was like, this is the place that I at least bought into when I could focus on to try to improve. I came in here towards the last third or fourth week of May. That's how
Yeah.
long I'd been just out of regular commission. Really worried because, of course, as you mentioned, I had in the fall, I typically do a relay race in the mountains with friends of mine. And it's just tremendous amount of fun, especially this F3 circle that I'm part of. And I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to keep it together.
Yeah.
And I remember as he started working on me, I was like, man, this is easy. Minus Megan's approach to the strength training, which, by the way, I think she's a little sadistic, which I love, because I think she enjoyed just how uncomfortable I was in this exercises. But the therapy part seemed easy. And I was reflecting on that the other day, and I'm like, it's not normal that when you were putting needles into my feet, that it wasn't uncomfortable.
Mm.
And then by that like third week,
Yeah.
it started to become very uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And I remember something you'd said, like you'd said to me that I have to trigger an acute response.
Yeah.
And I really didn't realize the levity or the
Yeah.
weight of that situation, to say better.
Yeah.
And then I started to actually not look forward to almost coming because I'm like, this is going to really hurt for a minute. And then when the therapy happens, it's good, but getting those
funny.
needles in isn't great. And I realized that was actually the blessing piece.
Yes.
So it's really been a cool experience in that. Loved the shockwave.
Yeah.
The therapy parts are always fun. In fact, minus the actual part where they're electrified and the shockwave, I actually enjoy. It actually feels good. I love
Yeah.
the muscle
Yeah.
stimulation and so on. Yeah, but so we did that. We did the blood restriction. We
Yeah,
did
blood flow restriction,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And that was a little torturous, but I also really enjoyed. You made it easy, and Megan especially made it easy to bring those exercises home with the
Yeah.
pictures that they would send, the instructions, and pick the ones, just something every day,
Yes.
or a couple somethings every day to keep that going. So it was really helpful. It's funny because as I was getting ready for the relay race, I was starting to feel tightness in my lower back again. And you could tell that my glutes were disengaging again. And I was like, okay, I haven't done enough of these glute exercises the past couple weeks. So get back into it again.
Yeah.
And now I just find myself at different times of the day standing up and doing this exercise.
Oh, nice.
or
So proud of you.